Wait.
Here's some more evidence that I have, and with one of the persons that had looked into my son's case. His name is Dave Hoffman. I will play the recorder for you right now and what he was saying.
As far as Daniel, did he let you know about Officer Boston?
No, and I know the officers that were there first. Officer Boston, I'm not even sure that she worked with us at that point. She's left the police department, and she didn't do a report if she was there, but I'll look into that and see if she was there, because I know where to find her.
Well, he said it was a male, not a woman.
We had, the only Officer Boston that we had was a Stephanie Boston. And she worked for our department for a while and then left.
Why?
But I'll check into that.
Yeah, I was going to say, if this officer was at one of the first ones at the scene, why wasn't this officer on the police report?
Yeah, and they should be. And so, the first two officers that were there, is Officer Schneider and Miller, and I know them very well.
What about Evans?
What about who?
Evans?
Evans, yep, I know Evans too. So I know all those guys really well. They're very good officers.
Okay, and I got one more question. When you said they may have been playing with gun, when you said they may have been playing with a gun, whom are you referring to?
I'm referring to Cody.
Cody,
and the only reason that it leads me to believe that is the way that the gun was loaded. It wasn't loaded, like every cylinder wasn't loaded. There were some empty spots in there. And I've known kids in the past that will play Russian roulette, and they'll load the gun in a weird way and spin the chamber or spin the cylinder and then pull the trigger. And I'm not saying I don't have any proof that says that Cody was doing that. The way the gun was loaded was odd to me. And so that's something that I need to really sit down with Kenneth. Because Kenneth, so far, is the only person that was there when this occurred. Nobody else saw anybody else. Nobody else heard any other voices. It was just Kenneth.
How come Daniel never, ever mentioned to us that he was there?
Daniel wasn't there.
Daniel was there. He's on the police report.
Well, no, Daniel was not there when this happened. The only one there was Kenneth.
But he's on the police report. Daniel is on there.
They may have talked to Daniel later on. Like Daniel, there were a bunch of friends that came after the shooting, but when the shooting happened, Kenneth was the only one there.
I don't know, Hoffman. I really don't believe any of this. What is But like I said, there's going to be an attorney for Cody because this all doesn't even add up to where you're going with this. It really don't.
Well, I know you're having a hard time believing it, and please get it. If you feel like you need to get an attorney, do that. And but I'm not done looking yet either.
Okay.
So I hope to be done by the end of the month. But it may take me a little longer. But I hope to be done by then. And hopefully we'll be able to
they'll tell you that my son had $700 or $800 on him.
Well, Daniel told me he had some money but didn't know how much. Chantel told me that he paid her $300.
See,
And it was money that he owed her. And I asked her how much more he had, and she said she thought he had some more but didn't know how much.
So where did it go? Where's his wallet? Where's his driver's license? Where's
Don't know any of that. Nobody can answer that for me.
Well, I'm sure they can because they know more than what they're saying.
Well, man, maybe they do, but you know they've got to come clean with me, and you know, and I've encouraged them to do that. Daniel said he was willing to do anything to help, and so did Chantel.
What about Keisha?
So I haven't talked to Keisha.
Well, she had a going away party a couple Sundays ago, and I believe she's incarcerated, is what Cassie told me.
Okay.
That's what her party was about. So she went to jail.
Okay, she's in Salt Lake County Jail?
Yes.
Okay.
Chantel knows Keisha. Keisha was there. They were blowing Cody's phone up, trying to get in contact with him just before he died.
Yeah, and I talked to Chantel about that too. And she stuck with the story that she was calling him because she thought he had her phone. And that there was no I can't lead people in questioning, like I can't like in court they'll say, isn't it true that you did this? And what I need to let people do is tell me the story, and then I find inconsistencies in the story, and then I go back and attack the inconsistencies. And so Chantel said that she believed Cody had her phone, and so she was trying to call him to get her phone back. And she never deviated from that story. She never, she said maybe she was calling to warn him about something.
Did you ask Chantel why she wanted my son's cell phone from the detective after the fact my son was dead?
No, again.
That's on the police report. She requested it from Detective Shoney, but he would not give it up.
No, and he shouldn't give it to her. It's not her property. That's stuff that should go to you.
Exactly. And why after the fact my son was, the case was closed as a suicide, why wouldn't they return the phone back to me? 3 years later, I went and then they gave it back to me. And all this stuff is on there, and then they gave me the evidence.
Yeah.
Evidence that, was never checked for whose blood was on the shoes, the clothing, or who they even belonged to. Because the shoes I got were my son's shoes that the mortuary gave to me.
Well, and I told you about the pair of shoes that Pumas that he had on when the shooting happened, and maybe they weren't his. Maybe he was borrowing them from Kenneth.
Those weren't his.
But those were clearly on his body when he shot himself, or when the shooting happened. They were absolutely, there's no doubt. The blood patterns, the physical evidence. I mean, people can lie and people can change their stories, but one thing that will always tell the truth is the physical evidence at the scene. And he had those shoes on his feet when the shooting happened.
Then why did the mortuary give me these other shoes that he had on him when they took him to the hospital?
I don't know why the mortuary gave them to you, but he had the Pumas on his feet when the shooting happened. And I can show you the blood patterns, and I can explain that to you when we meet in the end. I can show all that to you, and I can explain that. He absolutely had those on.
Yeah, I also requested...
Did you read the letter that Stu Smith sent you?
Stu Smith never sent me a letter.
Well, you gave me a paper from Stu Smith.
Well, that was the investigation that he done.
Yeah, did you read that?
Yes, I did. Over and over and over again, I read it.
Okay. I didn't know if you'd read that or not.
I'm the one who gave you a copy of that.
Right, right. And so I didn't know if you'd read that or not.
Yeah, about his investigation that he done on everybody. And how he asked Kenneth Anderson to do a lie detector test, and Kenneth didn't refuse one, so he never done one on him.
Well, at lie detector tests, they're not done anymore. They do something called the CBSA, which is that voice stress analyzer. And so it's kind of the same principle as that lie detector test. There's right now, until I talk to Kenneth, there's no way I can even compel him to take one, because there's just no evidence that says that Kenneth did anything wrong. If he volunteers, then we'll cross that bridge when I talk to him. But I can't make him do it. There's not enough evidence to compel him to do that.
Oh, so you can't make him do that?
No.
And he said
at this point I can't. Now, when I talk to him, I might be able to develop some more information that I can compel him to do it. But as far as it stands right now, there's just not enough evidence to force him to do that. But it's something that I'll cross that bridge with him when we talk to him.
Yeah, because he claimed the gun was on my son's chest when he walked into the apartment.
Right, and that's not uncommon.
Well, with the
that's not uncommon.
With the 357 Magnum?
Right.
Why would it be on my son's chest?
Because when guns go off, people see what happens on TV and think that that's what really happens to a body when a gun goes off. That's really not. The bullet only hits as hard as the gun kicks, and guns don't fly out of people's hands. On an injury that occurred to your son, he would have fallen straight to the floor, and the gun, assuming it was self-inflicted, we're not there yet, but it's very possible that when he just fell to the floor, the gun just fell right with him, and it wouldn't have been across the room. It wouldn't have been. Oftentimes, they're still in the hand.
This ain't the only tape that I have on Mr. Dave Hoffman. I have another tape, and I also have a tape on Daniel saying that when the officer Boston got to the scene, he was saying this is a homicide, but the other officers were saying no, it's a suicide, let's wrap it up, let's go home. So, all these inconsistencies that are on the police report, Mr. Hoffman did close my son's case, and he said nothing would be changed. So, again, as Cody Ray Rodriguez's mother, I am seeking for justice for Cody Ray, and I just want the truth to be told now. All the lies need to stop. And I'm looking for somebody who will help me find the truth to what really happened to my boy. I just ask for closure now. It hurts, and I want to move on. But I can't until I get the justice my son deserves. And not only him, for all the rest of our people that have been wrongfully hurt, killed, written off as a suicide, or whatever reason they're not here anymore. Thank you, Joanne, for doing this interview for me.
May, I'm going to ask you to point the camera at me so I could talk to the people, and we're going to close this up. And like I told you, we will work together on this. I'd like to thank everybody who's watched this video and the videos that I put out. They're not the easiest thing in the world. They're very, very hard. Sometimes it makes us very sick, and sometimes it makes us very tired, and sometimes it even causes health problems. But what I'd like to do is, so long as I'm alive, I'm going to do the very best I can for all of our Indian people. And I would personally like to thank all of those who have a part in making this justice for our people. We work hard in long hours so that those we love can find peace within their lives. And so I want to thank Ina May Rodriquez, and all those families who have lost a loved ones, and those of us who are helping will help you to find justice in the eyes of the world. Thank you very much.